Hey, good day, good day, good day, good day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Just in case you're joining me for the very first time, I am your host, the real Brian Glaze Gibbs. Hey, shout out and thank you to each and every one of you that took the time to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe. Over 25,000 subscribers. I truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hey, let's get straight to it. Today is 2/9/25. February 9th, 1992 was the worst day of my life. And I'm going to start off by saying this. The day that we are born is the same day that we start to die. I'm going to repeat that. The day that we are born is the same day that we start to die.
First day, I got the news. I was incarcerated in the feds, in a hole. Right now, I got the opportunity to use the phone. And when I got the opportunity to use the phone, and I made that call, and I can remember my auntie answering the phone. And, I'm like, okay, we talking. And then here it is. Like, it came out that my mother was no longer with me. Folks, anybody that know anything about me, I am a professional mama boy. And you talking about right now that day when I got that bad news, my world that I once knew was never be the same. It was over with. Why it was over with? Because the person that I know from day one loved me for me, had my back regards to what? She was no longer there. I don't care what I've been through in life. She used to always tell me it's going to be all right, and it was. Now, here it is, me, I got that news. She's no longer there. I sit back and I'm trying to grasp and understand what's going on. How could this be? How could a woman that I love more than life itself no longer exist? I'm talking about you telling me of pain. You talking about hurting. You talking about crying. I couldn't stop. It's like I was starting to cry like a newborn baby all over again because that pain was so painful, was so hurtful. I didn't know what to do. All I remember at that particular time, crying, losing my mind. I was gone. I was lost. And here it is, only thing I can think about, praying, getting on my knees. What's going on? How could this be happening to me? And reality had to sink in. I started going back into some of the messages, some of the conversation. I remember one of the last visit that me and my mother had. She came to visit me when I was in Otisville, FCI. And see, it got to the point whereas, she comes see me daily. But no, Mom, I don't want you to come. At that time I was married and had other people coming to see me. So you know what? I wanted my mother to enjoy her life. You don't have to come here. I'm not a little boy no more. I'm a grown man. I got people coming to see me. Not that I didn't want to see my mother, but I talked to her daily. And you know what? It's like during the last visit, I can remember her telling me, listen, I'm not going to always be here. And, I'm like, whoa, what you mean? She said, I'm not going to always be here. I'm going to die one day. I'm like, Mom, come on. I don't want to hear that. I'm saying, what you think going to happen to me? Say, listen, what you think I'm going to go through? How you think that's going to make me feel? She said, listen, you know what's going to happen to you? The same thing happened to me when my mother died. God will give you the strength to carry on. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to hear that. Okay? That was being selfish on my behalf. She was trying to prepare me for the unexpected. She was trying to prepare me that guess what? We all going to go. And when I go, it's nothing you can do about it but deal with it, but handle it. But I didn't want to hear that. How do I want to hear the woman that brought me into this world, the woman that I know got my back unconditionally is no longer going to be there? What am I going to do? I couldn't grasp that. I couldn't wrap my arms around that. I didn't want to wrap my arms around it, but it was reality. The same day that we're born is the same day that we start to die. And that's what we have to understand. Folks, listen, she's always say, live each and every day if it will be your last. Why? Because tomorrow is not promised to you. And it wasn't, and it's not promised to us. And what I'm saying, guess what? That day, February 9th, 1992, when I got to reflect upon everything, I sit back and think about it. All the things that she told me, all the things that she taught me, all the love that she gave me, all the support that she gave me. Here it is, I'm in a jail cell. I'm in prison. I don't have nobody to blame but myself. You know, here it is right now. She used to try to warn me. The first thing I can remember being a kid, and she used to tell us, look, if you ever get in trouble, don't call me, because I'm not coming to get you. The first time I got in trouble, I pick up the phone and I call my mom's. I'm in trouble. I need help. Get me out. This is the same lady saying, if you're getting in trouble, don't call me. I'm not going to be there. She trying to give me tough love, but guess what? When the opportunity presented herself, she couldn't give me tough love because that's how much she loved me. She came and got me. She ain't came and got me once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Every time I got into it, when I was a kid and I needed her help, she bailed me out. She got me a private attorney. And to me right now was, guess what? Here it is when she died. I couldn't go to her funeral. I couldn't go to her wake. I was not able to pay the final respect to the woman that I loved the most because of what? Because of my stupidity? Because of my issue? Because I want to be Brian Glaze Gibbs? Be careful what you ask for. Because when you get it, guess what? You're going to understand and realize that's not what you really want. I couldn't go to this lady's funeral to pay my final respect to the woman that I love more than life itself because of my stupidity, because of my wrong and bad choices. And I had nobody to blame but me. Folks, a lot of times what we have to do as human beings, look ourselves in the mirror. How many of us can look ourselves, ask you in the mirror, hold that mirror in your face, look yourself in the eye and see what you see? I had to do that. I had to look myself in the mirror and look myself in the eye. And you know what? I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I see nothing but darkness, nothing but evilness because of all the foul things that I have done throughout my years. I'm saying all the foul things that the person I have became. That wasn't me. That wasn't the boy, the son, the young man that Dorothy Gibbs raised to be. She taught me better. She gave me much more. And what do I did? I betrayed her trust. I betrayed her love. I betrayed her because of my bad decision, because of my stupidity, because I want to be down. Listen, folks, life is worth living. Life is worth living. Listen, like I say, if I had the chance to do it all over again, guess what? I would have made my mother proud. I would have been the man, you know what I'm saying, the young man, you know what I'm saying, that she wanted me to be, that she raised me to be. You know, when people teach you right and you still go wrong, come on. I know it's issues out there, and I know that, oh, guess what? Not just me, a lot of people is dealing with that. But you know what? When you got the support of your family, especially your mother, guess what? It's nothing greater than your mother love. Nothing. It took me a heck of a long time to, guess what? Put that all together. And you know what? Like, I've been in prison when my mother died. Okay? I couldn't go to the funeral. Here it is right now. We offer, you know what I'm saying, to pay for me to be escorted back and forth. Offer to pay out of our own pocket. No, it wasn't happening. Because of who I was and because of the severity of my case, that wasn't going to happen. I was at risk. I was still considered to be a danger to society. And they was not going to take that chance. So when they laid my mother to rest on February 14, 1992, I wasn't there. Only thing I had to console me was memories in a cold, isolated cell. Like I say, I can remember that day. You know what I'm saying? February 9th when I made that phone call. February 10th when I was able to get a better understanding. I can remember looking at that jail cell. It was a blizzard. It was like a snowstorm. Snow coming down. Like say, abundantly. Coming down. I got tears in my eyes. I'm crying. God, give me a sign to let me know that my mom is all right. Give me a sign. Like I say, it's a blizzard. Snow coming abundantly. Then all of a sudden, I seen this white rabbit dashing through the snow. And you know what? I took that. That was my sign. That God telling me that my mother was all right. That was my sign. And you know what? Here it is. I went through and had to deal with everything. I had to deal with who I was and all the foul things that I did. Shortly after my mother's death, a few weeks later, I was brought in front of Judge Edward Corman to be sentenced. And when I was brought in front of him, he asked me if I have anything to say. And I told him I couldn't blame Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols, Howard Pappy Mason. I couldn't blame anybody for what Brian Glaze Gibbs, did. I say, here it is. Everything I did it because that's what I chose to do. I say, it took the death of my beloved mother to help me and make me realize the pain and suffering that I inflicted upon the victim and the victim family. And that type of pain, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And that was the truth. Because once again, right now, who am I to say who lived and who died? I was in God. And like I said, you know, sometimes you go out there and you do things and you're not thinking. You can't be thinking when you committing terrible acts, destroying your community, destroying people's life, hurting people, poisoning your community. You're not thinking. What you're doing is, you know what I'm saying? You are the problem. I was the problem. For years, I was the problem. And right now, once I got my life, once I got my freedom back, guess what? You know what? I refuse to let my mother teaching and upbringing be in vain. I didn't want to be the problem no more. I wasn't the problem no more. I am not the problem no more. Now I'm seeking to be part of the solution. How can I use my life experience to share it to those that are willing to listen, to coach, counsel, to get them to understand? You know what? It's no shortcut in life. It's none. It's no shortcut in life. You know what? It's easy to do the wrong thing. It's not that hard to go to work. I'm saying to get an education, to apply yourself, to live a productive, law-abiding life. It's not that hard, folks. The same way you want to be slick and cool and do all that knucklehead stuff, the same way you can be legit. You know what I'm saying? Honest, law-abiding. It's easy. It's not that hard. Guess what? Change. You know what I'm saying? Come from within. And if you put your mind to it, you can be whoever and whatever you want. You know what? You don't have to be a follower. You know what I'm saying? Set the trend. Be a trendsetter. Let people follow you for the right reason. I had a team follow me all for the wrong reason. Now I'm trying to get people to listen to me. And if you're going to follow me for the right reason. Follow me because of the path that I'm on now. I was on a path of self-destruction. No. I'm on a path of creativity, positivity, you know, love, peace, prosperity. You know, how can I help that individual get to the next level? That's what life is all about. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to read an excerpt of this book, Beyond Lucky. This is my book. This is my Bible. This is my life story, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story, Crack, Money, Murder, and Redemption. Get your signed copy by emailing me to place your order. Brian, B-R-I-A-N, Gibbs, Gibbs, 1201 at yahoo.com. Okay? Get your signed copy. If you don't get it for yourself, get it for your son, your grandson, your great-grandson, your nephew, your nieces, your daughters. You know what? Guess what? Your granddaughters. I'm talking about the little kids in your neighborhood that going astray. This would help them to stop making that multi-billion-dollar prison system their permanent address. On February 9th, 1992, at approximately 10 p.m. Eastern Time, I was trying to call home, but the line was busy. I kept trying, and finally I got through. My aunt answered the phone, and when she recognized my voice, she told me, hold on. My sister then picked up the telephone, and I would never forget what I heard. She say, I know you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you. I was in administrative detention, okay, in Upper Midwest when I made a call, and I just dropped the receiver and put my head face down into the bed. My son had just been operated on a few days earlier, and I thought something had happened to him. Then I thought that maybe something had happened to my brother because he still didn't live in New York City. However, I had just talked to him the night before. I picked up the telephone, and the word I heard, the one fear I most, the word I feared the most, my sister say, "Mommy is gone." I just threw myself into the gray concrete floor, crying uncontrollably and banging every part of my body. This lasted about 10 minutes before I managed to gather myself to try to find out what happened. When I picked up the telephone again, my brother was on the line. He tried to console me to the best he could, telling me that mother didn't suffer when she died. But I still couldn't control my emotion and constantly keep breaking down and crying. Here it is, you know what I'm saying? Here was the person who had been there for me through everything, had given me life. The person who loved me with all her heart, and suddenly she was gone. I just find it too hard to believe, okay? My mother, sister, and Aunt Pauline had just returned home from Sunday church service, and after dinner, all of them were sitting around the table and talking. The subject of death came up, and everybody was talking about what color they wanted to be buried in. My aunt first, and then my sister. My mother said that she wanted to be buried in white, and only a few seconds later, she started complaining of a sharp pain in her head. My mother told them she felt like her head was about to burst open, like she was going to die. She then grabbed one of her eyes and fell out of the chair. Folks, sit back and think about it. Like I said right now that was 29 years ago. And to me, like I say, people tell you about pain. 29 years ago, that pain is still there. That pain never went anywhere. And even right now, it's the same. That time heals all wounds. Folks, I can tell you, time do not heal all wounds. Only thing time do is make that wound a bit more bearable to deal with. And to me, 29 years later, that pain is still there. You know, I would never be able to pick up the phone and call this lady, talk to her, cry on her shoulder. You know, I would never be able to, and like to me, yes, I was a spoiled brat. You know, I was a spoiled, you know I'm talking about, like professional brat, a mama boy. And right now is, guess what, folks? This pain, this suffering that I feel is real. And to me, it helped me. Because when I was finally released, when I finally got another chance to get my freedom, to get my life, I refused to continue to let my beloved mother, you know what I'm saying, teaching and upbringing and love be in vain. That's why I never went backwards. That was it. Right now is, like I said, I used to be the problem. Now I'm seeking to be part of the solution. Now I'm seeking to help those, to prevent them from going down that round track. And to me, folks, listen, man, those that are out there that still have your mother, you know what? Here it is, love her. Give her the flowers now. You know what I'm saying? Treat her right now. You know what I'm saying? Respect her. Honor thy mother and thy father, and thy days should be long. Listen, folks, I wish I had the opportunity to have my mother, to see her, to get the opportunity to see who I am today, not who I was in the past. So being that y'all all have, or those that still have your mother, man, cherish the moment, man. Cherish it. Don't be like me. Be like I'm saying, I'm talking about, I was out of reach. I was out of touch. I couldn't pay the respect to the woman that I love the most. Don't be like that, folks. Each and every one of y'all are better than that. Get out there, you know what I'm saying? Cherish your mother, cherish your father, your grandparent, your kids. Build that strong relationship. Build that strong bond. It's not too late. Don't be like me. It was late. It was too late. I never got the opportunity to be back out there as a free man with my mother. And you know what? I didn't have nobody to blame but myself, folks. Listen, hit that like button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Brian Glaze Gibbs channel. Follow me on Instagram, Brian Glaze Gibbs. Like I tell you, if I can change, anybody can change. You know why? Because change comes from within. And once again, folks, listen, like I tell you, here it is right now is To me, this was the worst day of my life. The day that we're born is the day that we start dying. All of us have to die. But the difference right now is how you die. Die peacefully. Die, right now with a pure heart. Once again, thank you for joining me.